In this tutorial, let's create a nice and simple animated titles inside of Davinci Resolve 16 that you can also use as a lower third in your project. Hey guys, I am Vikas for Skyline Motions, and without any further ado, let's take a new project and get started. Alright, so click on this new project and let's call it title and click on create. And let's do some basic settings. So click on this setting button and set the size of this project 1920 by 1080, and let's go with 30 frame per second. So set this playback frame rate 30 and click on save. Now let's create title animation inside of this fusion tab. So we have to take a new fusion composition. So go to media pool, right click on that, click on new fusion composition, and let's call it fusion comp, and set the duration of this composition 5 seconds long and frame rate 30, and click on create. And drag this fusion comp on this timeline like that, and then go to your fusion tab. And here we get media out, so just drag this media out in this corner, and let's take a text node. So click on this text button and drag this text to the viewer, and let's type a text whatever you want to type. So I'm typing animated titles, and select your favorite font style. So in this case I'm using Android font style, and I will provide a link in the description for this font style, so you can download this font style from that link if you want. And now let's animate this text. So take a background node by clicking on this background button and select this background, hit F2 on the keyboard to rename, and let's call it matte, and hit OK, and drag this matte to the viewer. And we have to take a rectangular mask, so click on this rectangle button and add a rectangular mask and attach this mask with this matte, and select this rectangle, hit F2, and let's call it mask, and hit OK. Now let's merge these both outputs. So take a merge node and connect this yellow background point with this matte, and use this matte as a background, and connect this green foreground point with this text and use this text as a foreground, and drag this merge one to the viewer and select this mask, and let's increase the size of this and hold Ctrl and scroll up to zoom in, and set this mask according to this text, something like this, and set this in center. All right, now let's place this text inside of this masked area. So select this merge and go to inspector window and change this operator over to in. And now the text is only visible in this masked area. So select this mask and set this mask for half portion of this text. So right click on this preview window, go to guide and check this option show guide. Okay, and select this mask and set this mask for half portion of this text, something like this. All right, and now if you want to keep this node clean and organized, we have to turn on grid snapping. So right click on this flow window and go to arrange tool and check this option to grid. Okay, and let's arrange this node like this. And now we have to create a duplicate of these node. So just select all these node, hit Ctrl C to copy, and paste another copy over here by hitting Ctrl V. All right, and now we have to replace this text with instance text copy of this text one. So just select this text and delete it, and let's create an instance copy of this text. So select this text, hit Ctrl C to copy, and paste a instance copy over here. So right click on this flow window and click on this paste instance. So this is our instance copy, and as you can see both are interconnected with each other. And now let's connect this green foreground point with this instance text one and drag this merge to the viewer. Alright, and now select this second mask and set this mask for another half portion of this text. something like this. And now let's merge these both outputs. So take a merge node and connect this yellow background point with this merge one and green foreground point with this merge and drag this merge to the viewer. And as you can see, we have a complete text over here, but this is divided into two parts, as you can see. All right, now let's animate this text. So just select this instance and let's go to layout and right click on center, click on D instance. And now this center parameter is independent. So let's animate this center parameter individually for both this text. So select this text instance and go to around frame number 90, which is equal to 3 seconds, and right click on center, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button to create a keyframe. And now select this text one and go to layout, right click on center, click on animate, and then go to around frame number 30, which is equal to 1 second, and drag this text on right side and placed it over here, and select this instance text one and drag this on left side and placed it over here. All right, and let's play this. So as you can see, it's looking something like this. And now we have a very basic animation. So let's make some more interesting and a smooth animation. So go to spline window, hit F4 on the keyboard, and let's minimize this both node and check this text one and this instance text one and click on this fit button, select all these keyframe and hit S on the keyboard, or you can also click on this smooth button to smooth these keyframes and set this CTI on frame number 30. Hold this handle and create a curve like this and hold another handle and set it like this and hit F4 to exit and close this spline window, and let's play this again. So as you can see, we have a smooth animation. And now let's create a shape animation around this text. So we have to take a background node. So click on this background button and let's call it shape background and hit OK. And now let's attach a rectangular mask with this. So just select this shape and click on this rectangle button to add a rectangle tool and select this rectangle, hit F2 and let's call it shape and hit OK. And let's take a merge node. So click on this merge button and connect this yellow background point with this shape background and connect this green foreground point with the output of this merge 2. All right, and drag this merge 3 to the viewer and select this shape background and let's change the color for better visibility and select the shape and let's increase the size of this preview window and set this mask according to this text like this and go to inspector window and set this corner radius 1 and set this height maybe around 0.13 and set this width value 0.7. Hit enter and now hold control and scroll up and set this shape in center like that, and then go to inspector window again and uncheck this solid box and create a border width like 0.05 and hit enter. And now we have to animate this shape. So go to around frame number 90, which is equal to 3 seconds according to 30 fps, and right click on width, click on animate and go to around frame number 30 and set this width and create a circle something like this. All right, so as you can see, it's looking like a circle. And go to spline window and hit F4 to full screen and uncheck this text 1, uncheck this instance text 1 and check this shape only and click on fit, select these keyframes, click on a smooth button, set the CTI on frame number 30 and hold this handle and create a nice curve like that and hit F4 to exit, close this spline window. And let's play this. So as you can see, it's looking something like this. Now let's animate this circle. So go to around frame number 15 and let's add a transform after this shape background. So select this shape background, click on this transform button and hit F2 and let's call it circle animation and hit OK and select this circle animation and right click on size, click on animate and create a keyframe on 15 frame and then go to very beginning of this animation and set the size 0 and go to spline window again, hit F4 to full screen and uncheck this shape and check this circle animation only and click on this fit button. Select this keyframe, click on a smooth and set the CTI on frame number 0. Hold this handle and create a curve like that and hit F4 again to exit and close this spline window. Alright, and now let's play this again. So as you can see, it's looking much more better. Alright, now let's create a duplicate of all these nodes. So just select all these nodes, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste another copy over here by hitting Ctrl V. Alright, and now I'm going to create a layout for these node. So just select all these node, right click on that, go to insert tool, go to flow and click on underlay and just deselect all these node and right click on this underlay, click on rename and let's rename it to first title and hit OK and let's change the color, go to set color and pick any color and as you can see it's looking much more organized. Alright, now let's rename these animated nodes. So just select this text, hit F2 and let's call it text 2, hit OK, select this instance, hit F2 on the keyboard to rename and let's rename it to instance underscore text 2, hit OK and select this shape animation, hit F2 and let's call it shape underscore 2, hit OK and we have one more animated node. So just select this circle animation, hit F2 and let's call it circle animation 2, hit OK. And now let's merge these both outputs. So take a merge node and connect this yellow background point with this merge 3 and connect this green foreground point with this merge and drag this merge 4 to the viewer and hold Alt on the keyboard to create a junction by clicking on this connection like this. All right, so as you can see, it's looking well organized. And now let's add a transform after this output. So just select this merge, click on this transform button and hit F2 and let's call it second title control and hit OK and select this second title control and go to inspector window and let's down the size of this second title and set this value 0.4 and let's down this title over here and set it like that. And now let's change the title. So just select this text too and let's type your second title over here. So I'm typing tutorials and let's set this tracking value and fit this text according to this shape. And now select this shape 2 and check this option solid and set this border to default. All right, and let's replace this shape background with the instance copy of this shape background. So just delete this shape And let's create an instance copy of this shape background. So just select this, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste a instance copy of this shape background. So right click on this flow window and click on this paste instance. So as you can see, we have an instance copy of this shape background and both are interconnected with each other. So if you want to change your title color, you have to change in only one shape background or this instance shape background. So connect this yellow background point with this instance and connect this mask with this instance. And let's create a nice gradient color. So select this shape and go to this background and change this type solid color to gradient color. And let's pick a nice gradient color. So pick this point and select a nice purple color and pick this one and pick this red color. All right, so it's looking nice. And now let's do one more thing. Just select this second title and go to around frame number 60, which is equal to 2 seconds, and right click on center, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button and then go to around frame number 120, which is equal to 4 seconds, and drag this second title over here, something like this, and go to spline window, hit F4 and uncheck all these node and check this second title control only and click on fit button, select all these keyframes, hit S to smooth and set the CTI on frame number 60. Hold this handle and create a curve like that. And now let's play this. All right. As you can see, it's looking nice, but I want to create a time gap between both the titles. So just check this second title only. So uncheck all the node first and let's check this text 2, circle animation text 2, shape 2 and instance text 2. All right, check these four nodes and click on fit button and select all these keyframes and let's move these keyframe on frame number 30. So set this CTI on frame number 30 and let's move all these keyframe 1 second forward in time. So hold shift on the keyboard and just drag this on frame number 30 and let's start all the animation from frame number 30. All right, and let's check this. All right, so as you can see, it's looking much more better. So hit F4 to exit, close this spline window, and it's almost done. So we have to connect this media out with the output of this main animation. So connect this merge 4 with this media out, and now let's go to the edit tab, and as you can see, our text animation is ready for render. So just drag this fusion comp over this layer and as you can see this is our animation in and let's create a animation out. So just select this fusion comp, hit Ctrl C to copy and let's paste another copy over here by hitting Ctrl V and now right click on this second title and click on new compound clip and convert this fusion composition into a compound clip and click on create and then right click on that and go to change clip speed and check this option reverse speed and click on change. All right, so now this is our animation in and this is our animation out and I'm gonna add a cut where actually animation start from. So select this blade tool and cut this extra part and select this move tool and just delete it. So as you can see it's looking much more better. And now let's apply this text animation on a background. So go to media pool, right click on that, click on import media and select this image and click on open and drag this image on this timeline like that. And let's fit this image and right click on that, go to new compound clip and convert this image into a compound clip, click on create and let's hide this upper layer for a second and go to fusion tab and let's apply some effect on it. So just select this merge and click on color corrector and let's set this saturation 0 and make it black and white and set this gain value maybe around 0.15. Hit enter and let's add a scale animation on it. So just select this color corrector, click on this transform button to add a transform node, go to the end of this animation, right click on size, click on animate and go to very beginning of this animation and set this scale value maybe around 1.4. Hit enter and as you can see we have a scale animation on it and then go to your edit tab and let's enable the upper layer and as you can see it's looking nice. So click on this loop button and let's play this.